Have you ever wondered why some of the most intelligent people slowly disappear, not because they hate others, but because they begin seeing the world in a way most people never do? Psychology reveals that this isn't arrogance, shyness, or loneliness. More often, it's the result of deeper self-awareness, emotional exhaustion, and a quiet realization that not every relationship deserves lifelong access to your life. Watch this video until the end, because we're going to uncover the hidden psychology behind why intelligent people suddenly disappear, why they become more selective with their time, why they often choose solitude over constant social connection, and the psychological changes that quietly transform the way they see friendships, success, and human nature. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why some people disappear. You may finally understand why you've been feeling the urge to step away from the noise yourself. Have you ever stopped replying to messages, avoided unnecessary conversations, or felt strangely disconnected from people you once cared about? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Psychologists have found that as self-awareness grows, people often become far more selective about where they invest their time, attention, and emotional energy. What looks like disappearing from the outside is often a quiet transformation happening on the inside. In this video, you'll discover the hidden psychological reasons why intelligent people slowly disappear from everyone's life, and why the final reason changes everything. The first reason intelligent people disappear has nothing to do with arrogance and everything to do with awareness. Most people look at others. Intelligent people eventually start reading them. At first, life feels normal. Friends make you laugh. Conversations seem meaningful. You believe what people say because you've never had a reason not to. But then something changes. You begin noticing the small things that everyone else ignores. The smile that doesn't reach someone's eyes. The compliment that sounds kind but carries hidden jealousy. The friend who only remembers you when they need a favor. The person who says they support you but disappears the moment you succeed. Once your brain starts recognizing these patterns, it's almost impossible to unsee them. Psychologists call this pattern recognition. The more experience and self-awareness you gain, the faster your brain connects behaviors that once seemed unrelated. Suddenly, people don't look different, but they feel different. And that's where the distance begins. Not because intelligent people stop caring, but because they stop confusing attention with genuine connection. From that moment on, they become far more careful about who they allow into their life. Because they realize that protecting their peace is often wiser than pleasing everyone around them. But here's where the story becomes even more surprising. Intelligent people don't disappear because they enjoy being alone. They disappear because too much noise begins to feel exhausting. Research in psychology suggests that people with higher levels of self-awareness often spend more mental energy analyzing conversations, emotions, and social situations. While others hear words, they notice intentions. While others enjoy the moment, they quietly analyze the behavior behind it. This constant awareness changes everything. A conversation that once felt exciting now feels predictable. A friendship that once felt genuine suddenly feels one-sided. Even crowded rooms begin to feel strangely empty. This doesn't mean intelligent people think they're better than everyone else. It means they stop finding fulfillment in shallow interactions. Instead of asking, "How many people know me?" they begin asking, "Who truly understands me?" And that single question changes their entire social life. Because the more a person values honesty, depth, and meaning, the smaller their circle naturally becomes. That's why many intelligent people seem to disappear overnight. But the truth is, they were slowly letting go of the wrong connections long before anyone noticed. And what happens next is the reason most people completely misunderstand them. Here's something Carl Jung believed that most people never think about. He once suggested that until we become aware of what's happening inside our own mind, we'll keep believing that everything happening around us is just fate. Intelligent people slowly begin to notice something different. They realize that many people aren't reacting to reality. They're reacting to their own fears, insecurities, and hidden emotions. The person who criticizes you may secretly envy your progress. The person who constantly interrupts you may not be confident enough to listen. And the person who always needs your attention may simply be afraid of being ignored. Once you begin seeing these emotional patterns, you stop taking everything personally. You stop wasting energy trying to fix people who don't want to change. Instead, you become far more protective of your own mental space. This isn't emotional coldness, it's emotional intelligence. Psychologists often describe emotional intelligence as the ability to understand both your own emotions and the emotions of others without allowing those emotions to control your decisions. That's why intelligent people don't react to every argument, don't answer every message, and don't chase every relationship. Not because they don't care, but because they've learned that every yes to the wrong person is often a no to their own peace. And once someone truly understands that, their entire life begins to change in ways that most people never expect. But here's the biggest misunderstanding of all. People assume intelligent individuals enjoy being alone because they dislike others. The truth is almost the exact opposite. They don't fall in love with loneliness. They fall in love with clarity. For the first time in their lives, silence stops feeling empty. It becomes a place where they can finally hear their own thoughts without the noise of other people's expectations. Modern psychology suggests that periods of healthy solitude can improve self-reflection, emotional regulation, and long-term decision-making. That's why many highly self-aware people don't fear spending time alone. They use it to recharge their mind instead of escaping the world. While everyone else is chasing constant attention, they're quietly building a stronger version of themselves. They read more. They think more deeply. They question their own beliefs instead of blindly accepting someone else's opinions. And over time, something incredible happens. They stop needing validation from people who never truly understood them. Because real confidence isn't built from applause. It's built from self-respect. That's the moment their priorities completely change. They no longer ask, "How can I fit in?" They ask, "Does this life reflect who I truly am?" And once that question takes root, there's no going back. To everyone else, it looks like they disappeared. But in reality, they finally stop disappearing from themselves. And the final reason explains why this transformation changes every relationship they have forever. Here's the truth that changes everything. Intelligent people rarely disappear overnight. They disappear one realization at a time. One day they stop arguing with people who have already decided not to understand them. Another day, they stop chasing friendships that only survive when they're useful to someone else. Then, without making an announcement, they quietly begin building a life that no longer depends on constant approval. To the outside world, it looks sudden. But inside, that decision has been growing for months, sometimes even years. And this is where most people get it wrong. They assume intelligent people become distant because they think they're better than everyone else. In reality, they simply become more intentional about where they invest their time, attention, and emotional energy. Because time is limited, mental energy is limited, and the people you surround yourself with quietly shape the person you become. So, if you've recently found yourself stepping back from certain people, don't ask yourself whether you're becoming antisocial. Ask yourself something much more important. Are you running away from people? Or are you finally walking toward the life that's truly meant for you? Sometimes the people who seem to disappear aren't getting lost at all. They're finally finding themselves. And maybe that's exactly where your next chapter begins. If this video made you see people, or even yourself, in a completely different way, subscribe for more psychology videos that reveal the hidden patterns behind human behavior. And before you go, tell me in the comments, have you ever quietly disappeared from someone's life? Or has someone disappeared from yours? I'd love to read your thoughts. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.